Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this training today. And it's quite an interesting training that we're going to be having today on GROHE concealed cisterns. I must be honest, it is going to require a little bit of extra attention today, as there's a lot of details that we've got to go through, and you've got to focus to be able to keep track of what's happening there. But please, at any stage, if you have a question, stop me immediately, text me quickly, and I will do my best to answer you, or we will call a friend and ask somebody to help us. Okay, so what we are going to go through today is an overview of the GROHE concealed systems, the different concealed system options you get, which are obviously your repeater SL concealed, the technical features on it, the typical SL applications, the uni sets, and then the normal concealed system. First of all, if you have a look at all the systems, they can be divided up into three main categories. First of all, you've got the ones for drywall installations. You've got the ones for floor-mounted cisterns, for the wall-mounted toilets. So what we mean there is the cistern is actually going to be mounted on the floor on a frame, and it will be specific for floor-mounted toilets. And then, of course, you've got your wall-hung cisterns for wall-hung pans. Within each one of these three kinds, we have three applications. You've got your on-wall application, which is 130mm thick cistern tank to fit on a single brick wall. So if you have one brick wall and you're going to be putting drywall in front of that, you'd use the on-wall application and then just put a skin over the front of it in the form of drywalling. Then you have your in-wall application, which is an 80mm thick cistern. That is if you're going to be cutting it into a double brick wall. So you will cut out one layer of bricks, and then you would build it into the wall, and then plaster and tile over that. Then the third one we have is the undercounter application, which is 180mm thick. You'll see it's quite a bit thicker than the others. That is because it's a lot shorter, so it's a bit wider and thicker to still give you your full volume of flush. So if we have a look at the slide that you've got there now, the first one is your Rapid SL, and we'll see that is now got the floor mounting system. So it's got the bracket that mounts on the floor there, and it can be fastened up against the wall there. You get a special bracket, but we'll have a look at that just now. These two bolts over there would be used if it's going to be a wall hung system. Then we've got the uni set, which is for a solid brick wall, on wall, so you can then now mount it on a wall. There's a mounting point there, and then one here and one on the other side. Then this one is your concealed system. Over here, you'll see that doesn't have the cladding and stuff to be tiled directly onto it. And then we have your shorter concealed system, the under counter one. Okay, so if we have a look at our Rapid SL frame, we can see that it's a tool-free installation of your inspection chamber. So it's not like the old ones we used to have, where you had to turn screws in and fasten it down and all that type of thing. It simply clips into place. Then there are only two screws for the retaining frame. So once your tiling or inspection chamber has been clipped into place and it's now being tiled around it, you cut it open, and then you have 2 screws to put your retaining frame on. Also, if you have a look at the 2 brackets, that would then be those 2. It's a perfect quick adjustment with a new wall holder, and it goes very quick. Obviously, you'll need some tools there. Yes, you'll need some tools to drill it into the wall and so forth, to hang it on, but after that, it is very, very easy. If you have a look on your catalog, that is the catalog Sanitary Systems, Work Smarter. It is on page 61. You'll see the bracket there is a 3855800M. If we have a look at the MOTs at the bottom here, this system has got the GROHE whisper function on it, so it is very quiet. The EcoJoy, so it's got the economy involved on it, and it's got the GROHE quick fix. As we said, you only have very limited amount of tooling needed to assemble this holder there. Just because it's very easy to mount and to clip together and so forth doesn't make it any weaker. We've mentioned previously when we spoke about the sanitary ware that a wall hung pan needs 400 kilogram weight to be put on it to comply with SABS, and your Rapid SL frame complies completely to that. So there you can see on your screens is the different codes of the different systems that come with a Rapid SL. The one on the left-hand side, the 5001, is the normal 1 meter installation. And then you have your 26000 and the 87000, which is your under basin one or under counter ones, where you can actually have either a top flush or a front flush activation on those there. The 5001, you can only do a front flush activation. So if we have a look at the slide that you're in now, it shows you that you have the points for securing on the wall installation accessories, which are adjustable for depth by just screwing those little bolts in and out, and then it locks into place. As I said, it's with quick adjustment, so once you've drilled it and fastened it on the wall, and you need to adjust it ever so slightly to get the frame perpendicular or absolutely level, not parallel, perpendicular. Okay, so it must be 90 degrees to the floor or absolutely up straight. Okay, then for your for the 50 and 75 millimeter deep C profiles and element rails. So what that is for your drywall installations, those channels that you get, the feet actually just clip into that. You don't have to drill or fix any bolts into the floor for that. At the very bottom of this section over here, if you have a look, you'll see there are bolts on the inside there, and you've got an extra 200 millimeter height adjustment. For instance, if for some reason they're going to put your bottom rail in and then put a topping or something on top of the floor afterwards, then you can actually adjust it higher up. If we have a look at the next slide there, the Rapid SL for the toilet, that is the one that's 1.13 meters high with a 6-liter cistern. It's got the dual volume, so you can have half flush or full flush, and it's got the start-stop functionality on that there. And it will take, it is 420 millimeters wide to take your toilet bowl with a 70 centimeter reach of the toilet. So you can be a fairly long toilet that you can fit onto there. So that is the 0.42 meter is then for your standard toilet bowl, And then you'll see over here, you can put it, the mounting bolts are slightly wider, which is 0.46 meter or 460 millimeters for disabled toilets that are often quite a bit wider. If we have a look at this lifestyle type picture, it gives you a clear indication of how you would actually be installing it into drywall installation. We see at the bottom, I can just get more pointed to actually show here. There we go. At the bottom here, it just clips into the aperture of the rail, so that would locate it from moving backwards and forwards, and then you would fasten it in here. Because this is quite a deep drywall cavity, you wouldn't use those top adjustment screws to fasten it and level it. You'd actually be screwing it up against the side channels. But if this was a single channel, then you could actually put a screw or that adjustment kit through to the back wall. Obviously, once you take this whole installation and you cover it with a second skin, this is what you will see in front of you. The whole system and the frame, the feet, everything are hidden, and you've just got the wall-hung toilet that now hangs on there. So if we have a look at some of the technical features of the Rapid SL system, first of all, you have your fastening points for your accessories, your wall holders to give you your depth adjustment and so forth. Those are your depth adjustments with adjustable brackets that give you that quick fix adjustment. You've got your sound insulation around your flush pipes and so forth to give you that whisper so there's not much noise. And then obviously on your bolts there you have got your 400 kilogram load capacity for any of your wall-hung type toilets. You have got your elbow with a 90-degree bend, so it will give you the same as a floor entry or S-type installation. There are some of the areas, for instance in Durban, where we're getting a lot of requests for a horizontal outlet through the wall to the back, and the guys there do make a plan, they cut it, and they then weld it straight. So in the straight position, you can't weld something straight. Then you've got the frame is coated on the surface with powder coating. This makes sure that you have longevity. It's not going to rust or corrode inside of your drywall area. So you've got your universals for individual and row installations. So on the thing, you've got marks to show you what your standard height should be and where it should line up. You've also got on it is your fastening points for your wood stud partitions and element paneling. We don't really do much element paneling here in South Africa, but we do have some wooden houses that they go into. So those would be points where you ideally fasten it onto the wooden studs of the wooden house. And then you've got your 200 millimeter extra quick adjustment just to lift it that little bit if need be. Then for your C profiles, as we said, those little feet at the bottom would just clip in and you don't have to screw it down in there at all. Your filler valve fills up to 6 liters volume in 30 seconds. Now, I want to give you a cautionary note here. Don't ever tell anybody it takes only 30 seconds or 40 or 80 seconds to fill up, because that is largely dependent on the actual pressure in the system, how dirty the strainers are, all that type of thing. So the customer, if you say to him it takes 30 seconds to fill, you get the customers that now stand there with a stopwatch, and if it takes longer than that, they'll phone the service department and complain that their system takes too long to fill. So rather be very careful specifying how long it will actually take to fill. So we mentioned that it's a quick fix. You just clip your tiling box inside there, and even the filler valve, the hose that's inside there, is a very quick, easy connection. You don't need a spanner to tighten it at all. You only need to push it in. There's a little O-ring, and then there's a little nut where you can just tighten it finger tight. You don't have to force tighten it there at all. On your QR code, which is printed on there, it will take you directly to the website with all that information of installation instructions, all that type of thing. So I don't know if many of you have worked with the QR code. It's very interesting. If you've got a QR code reader on your phone, you point it at that, get it to focus, it will automatically click on it and take you to the website or whatever area that is pointed to. But in this case, it will be to the website, to the professional section, where it'll give you all the information. Okay, so in addition to the 6-litre flush volume, there's always a 3-litre volume available in the bottom. So the cistern can actually take 9 litres of water. You will flush with 6 litres, but it will always have a reserve of 3 litres. So if you need to push the button and hold it open a little bit longer just to get that extra little bit of a flush, there is an extra 3 litres available inside there. You will also see that in your cistern you've got punch holes, so you can actually make your water connection of your filler valve either from the left or from the right hand side, or from the top or from behind. So it's quite flexible in your actual connections on that section there. Depending on the tile image or design specifications, the toilet actuator plate can be mounted either horizontally or vertically on this particular cistern setup with the Rapid SL here. There are some of the others that you cannot change it at all.
Okay, the next one is the inspection chamber is locked in place without tools, and the retaining frame is secured with only 2 screws. So once again, very easy to install and to use it there. The pneumatic waste valve, or we know it as a beta type valve, it's got 3 functions: dual flush, single flush, and it has got the start-stop function for that there. So very nice if you accidentally pushed the full flush and all of a sudden now you want to stop it because you realize you don't need the full flush, you can interrupt it and it will stop. The Rapid SL for the under counter or under windowsill installation, there you can see what it typically looks like. So in this case it's an under counter, it's mounted up against the wall, and there's a false bulkhead of drywalling built in front of it, so that it now still is a normal wall hung installation with a little ledge behind the toilet there. This could also be that there could be a window opening just above the toilet here, so then it would be very similar there. Here is your shorter one with your drywall installations. Once again, on the left hand side you'll see here it's a very deep one with double steel structures, and it'll just fasten onto there. On the right hand side you can see it's a single one, and what they've actually done is they've put a wooden batten through the back and they've screwed their fastening set onto that, and in this instance you would have to screw these feet into the wall, otherwise there would be nothing holding in it and it'll just pop in as soon as you put a toilet pan on that area there. Okay, so a quick question here on a wall hung pan on drywall, which cistern would you use? And there it is, your rapid SL. On this one, it is the 0.82 meter installation, so this would be an under counter, top or front flush. You would use this one here. Okay, you'll see this one has got the bigger foot at the bottom. So the rest of the cistern looks exactly the same. It's got the same features, just the foot is bigger, and that would be for a different drywall sectional installation. And then you have your 1 meter one, which would be for your normal drywall installation for the standard toilet pan to hang on that. So that wouldn't be for an under counter, it would be a normal in wall, but you would only be able to flush from the front. You don't have the option to come in from the top on this one at all, only with the 2 shorter ones. Okay, that is your Rapid SL ones. So here you will see it has got a foam on it there, so you could screw this onto the wall and put a brick up against it and tile directly over the front of this. Your tiling adhesive would fit or would stick directly to that. These also have the MOTs of being GROHE Whisper, so it's very quiet, the Eco Joy, and the Quick Fix. What is nice about this one is this section over here has got a screw there and there. So if once you've installed it, the toilet pan doesn't quite line up to where it should, you could actually loosen that and it will move. So you can actually line it up, lock those 2 screws again, and then mount your pan on that. That's a very nice feature. We know often things don't go exactly as intended in an installation, so it could be slightly off. We have got a way of fixing it on this one here. There's been a question here about top and front, and I take it that that is on the previous Rapid SL. So on the under counter ones, if we can just go back to that again, on these ones here, you can actually enter or put your actuator plate on the front, or it has got a feature that you can actually mount it on the top, and you would then flush it from the top there. And if we go back to this picture, there you can see the ledge, and it would actually be able to flush from the top. Where this wooden ledge is, you can go in from that section there. Obviously, with the cisterns, your adhesive may not stick totally to that because it could have a little bit of powderiness or whatever on there, so you're most probably going to need to put a key coat or something with a bonding material on there so that it would stick directly to that polystyrene, but you don't have to put an extra mesh or anything on that there. So this one is much easier to move around. Obviously it's lighter, it doesn't have the steel frame. You can take it directly from the packaging and put it directly onto the wall, screw it on. It still has the 400 kilogram load capacity, which we spoke about for the Rapid SL. So with this installation like this, it is just as strong as the one in the steel frame. So you've got your concealed cistern there, which is then covered with your EPS material. Now, if anybody doesn't know what EPS is, I wouldn't have known until I looked it up. It's expandable polystyrol, so it's a type of polystyrene which they then make this out of and would give you your sound deadening. It also works as a condensation absorption, so it wouldn't condensate water onto the tank and come through the wall. It would be stuck behind that expandable polystyrol there. So there you have it, your wall-hung toilet. On this one here, if it's the Uniset, that's the toilet cistern that you're going to use there, that one there, but you must include your 4224 2000 with it there. So there are your Uniset ones, the 3 different versions. Remember we said in each one there are 3 different versions, your on-wall, in-wall and under-counter application. So here it is here. Your on-wall is your 3001. Your in-wall, so this one would be built completely in. It has been strengthened so it can take the 400 kilogram weight with the steel frame that goes onto it. That's your 9000, and then this one is your under-counter, which then is your 5001. And I've been corrected, yeah, it's not a top and front activation. Apparently you guys like to call it vertical and horizontal. Now, in the language of the plumbers, I think that means the same, but to be technical correct, we'll refer to as vertical and horizontal installations. Just one question, yeah, 1 sec. Yeah, I've also been just told that the horizontal installation of it on this one here, let me just go there, is for easier access also. Because it's deeper in the wall, you need to be able to have a wider area to be able to get everything in and out. So you wouldn't be able to have a vertical flush plate on this one, only the horizontal flush plate, but the other 2 would have both there. So there your cistern is, without the 4-inch adapter. This 4-inch adapter, to change it from the 90mm pipe to the 110mm, you've got to buy separate there. It comes with a 6 and 9 liter adjustable pneumatic discharge valve, and it obviously again has the dual flush, single flush, and your start-stop option in there. So if we have a look at back to wall toilet pan, that now is standing directly on the floor, so it doesn't need the assisted weight bearing of a wall hung toilet because the weight is carried on the floor. So this one we would be able to use cistern 3866 1000, and that is this one here, the normal GROHE concealed cistern. And in that again you have your 3 different options, and the on-wall, in-wall and under-counter section there. Just keep in mind that on all of them you need the 37104K00 connecting set, which is on your flush pipe section there. So there we've got it. Again, just for those that missed it just now, the cistern that you can use on your back to wall pan would ideally be your 3866 1000. Just some items to keep in mind. Once the plumber has finished installing the cistern, the biggest service call we have is people phoning and saying it doesn't work. And 99.9% of the time they haven't taken this transportation lock out here at all. So once it's been installed, the transportation lock is going to be taken out, and only then will your flush mechanism work properly. So for all of them, please make sure that the transportation lock has been removed. The MOTs on this one also is that it has the GROHE Whisper, it's silent, the quick fix, and Starlight. For the actuator plates, obviously, The shiny chrome finishes are the starlight finish on there. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that has made it clear as mud, or just like slightly murky water. We have tried to summarize it without going too technical in this session here. There are a lot more technical slides which will go into installation heights, depths, special conditions, all that type of thing, but we'll be dealing with those in version 2, in the sales training 2 point whatever it will be then, and we'll go into it then. But if you do have any further questions or information, please feel free to give Eugene or myself a call or drop a mail and we'll answer you. I just want to draw your attention to a special thing on this last slide here is the webinar link. Please make use of that to review the webinars. Guys, when we are doing the evaluations next week, it will be an open book evaluation. So you will need all this information. Go and download all those PDFs, listen to the videos again, and hopefully that will help you in your evaluations next week.